Super Stuff, and next.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Super Stuff Unboxed. Today we're going to be unboxing this Robin, this classic red and green looking Tim Drake, Todd McFarlane's DC Multiverse. Now, this isn't the only Tim Drake Robin you're looking at. He is also known as Red Robin. Yes, that's Tim Drake. Those are actual wings instead of like a cape behind him, and that kind of X-plated thing across his chest is very common for that character, as well as the Robin logo instead of the R Robin logo. But both Tim Drakes, and then you've seen Tim Drake on the Titans show. Sometimes his race is little bit changed on some of the shows, not entirely consistent, but these are some classic Red Robin looks. And as long as we're talking about Robin, we might as well have the four main ones in popular incarnations of their costume up for us to compare. The original Robin stopped wearing the red and green and then put on this costume and became Nightwing. That wasn't prepared, that's right, just came up with it on the spot. And I thought this one would be good to bring out here because this Beast Boy Build-A-Figure body is really in demand. So let's give this thing a closer look as we exit through our Robins. Yeah, this guy, absolutely a classic Nightwing. Look at that hair on the face. Robin letting it go, going a little darker, more alternative. And then this one's famous for those batons. You can see I'm holding the card, but it doesn't look like this one has any, and they're just closed fists. Couldn't even hold them. No hand swaps. Now, the Robin that came after Nightwing actually wasn't Tim Drake here. It was this guy. Jason Todd wore red and green until the Joker ended that for him. So, if you're trying to do a full lineup of these characters, then you probably would maybe want like an older Joker. I think this Three Jokers criminal one looks a little bit older. Oh, speaking of which, since we're taking these guys away and out of scene, you probably want to pair them if you're doing a whole family with an older Batman. I always thought the JLA head sculpt or this Batman seemed a little bulkier and older as far as, pairing them with the Robins around. And then also, I've changed this one up a bit. I think the logo and some of the tears on the costume, and maybe I added a little black. But obviously, this classic Frank Miller-inspired one was older. So you could paint or change or use as is this pretty older looking one to pair with some Robins as well, if you're into that sort of thing. And then remember, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Jason Todd, the second Robin, was also the Arkham Knight video game style Robin, but I'm not a huge gamer, so correct me if I'm wrong. And then after that Joker killed him, he came back to life as the Red Hood, many incarnations, but this is one of my favorite looking ones, so really happy to have the opportunity to show you guys. All right, then the third Robin was actually, the light was actually Tim Drake, and this Damien here happened to be number 4. So I'm I'm not sure what you consider a Robin, but the red and green definitely is something that I like seeing. It will always make me feel like that's Robin, and I hope that Damian dons it as Batman's biological son versus Tim here, who wasn't. Hopefully he dons the red and green for a long time, and you already saw that there was a Nightwing, a Red Hood, and then a Red Robin persona passed on. And then many other Bat Family characters. Anyway, it's time to get this sucker unboxed. It looks like we've got a classic looking comic book art scene from the back. This would be the Robin from the 90s. The Batman broke his back style. Oh, Robin Reborn. Not specifically than that storyline, but holy cow. Tim Drake was a lot of people's Robin, because remember, Nightwing became Nightwing, a long time ago. And Jason Todd, it did not last long. People actually, I think, voted to kill him, if I remember correctly. Woo-wee. Okay, here we go. We've got ourselves an amazing looking figure, double elbow pins that you can see. These things always come out so awkward and crazy. How many black circles do we have? We'll have to have a video just dedicated to that some year down the road. All just the YouTubers who've done this sort of thing. Just have some sort of contest or something. Wouldn't that be interesting? Who could organize something like that? All right, this car looks like some amazing art. Tim Jackson Drake. Oh man, I know some Tim Jacksons. Growing up in Gotham City can be complicated, especially when you're a kid who's obsessed with Batman and Robin. Oh yeah, Tim Drake is also probably the best detective, on par with Batman, at least more so than Nightwing, who was a great leader, obviously the Teen Titans and the Titans, and then you've got that assassin warrior son of his. All right, look at this. Ooh-wee. What a classic looking Batarang. Cool design. Speaking of cool design, yeah, Robins are known for these poles, right? Go Teen Titans, go. Oh yeah, maybe that's what I need to carousel this guy with. There's some Jokers or some Teen Titans. Bring some other characters in the mix at the end of the video. Yes, a pole for Robin. These are both gripping hands, so they definitely want this one to go here. Super cool. Now it's time to cut through. Some of these older figures, they really put these things way too close. Same character, or if it is, it's just a slightly different version. And who can blame them? Anyway, speaking of versions, I hope that's all. This version looks great. The red and the green. Are you kidding me? This is what Robin's about. Look at this, people. Dude. Could you imagine if you could just get a few more Robins with red and green before Todd is done? You need to give us, Todd, a classic Dick Grayson wearing the shorts Robin. Change the legs on the Davian mold in the head or something. I mean, figure it out before the contract's done. This guy looks amazing. Obviously, you've got a plastic cape. In this era, the back was black instead of yellow. Yeah, the sleeves. Okay, remember what this costume looks like, because there is a difference between all the different Robins, even when they were wearing the red and the yellow. These figures do try to remain pretty accurate. Super cool. Not too hard to get this staff in his hand. Looks like a reasonable weapon. It's a whole lot less deadly than Damien's katana, but super cool. And look at these guys together. Robin number 3 and Robin number 4, but such a big part of the last, what is it, like over 30 years now of Robin lore? Yeah, super cool. So let's throw in then a Batman. Yeah. To see if they seem age appropriate with each other pairing. Yeah, that seems real age appropriate for me. Now, earlier I recommended kind of this one that had a blue and gray costume. Was that ridiculous? No. There's yellow that ties everything. You know, I wouldn't say it's ridiculous. Especially with how popular this blue and gray has seemed to be recently. Okay, this video is getting a little bit long. I think it's time to wrap it up. We've got ourselves, okay, knee. We've got what's that sort of ankles around this arrow. Okay, you know, these McFarlane toys are always good right off the jump. Just an improvement from the previous DC Multiverse. Oh yeah, are they still keeping the DC Multiverse name? Because that's what was used before Todd, right? That's something to find out. All right. Thank you for watching Super Stuff Unboxed. We appreciate you. We'll catch you next time. Let's take some pics. Yeah.